350,000 visitors and 700 journalists from across the world visited Bologna, Italy for the EIMA 2024 International Agricultural Machinery and AgTech Expo. This year, the attention was specifically on Southern Africa as well as South Asia in terms of the offering that these markets had in store for agricultural machinery producers. The reason why these markets are of particular interest is twofold. First off, the populations are said to increase exponentially by 2050, and furthermore, there were vast areas, especially in Southern Africa, where the amount of agricultural land that can still be cultivated was also incredibly vast. So come and have a look to see what was shared with us.
Well, the Sub-Saharan African area is one of the potential for agriculture machinery industry, because we know that the level of mechanization is poor, and we know that in Africa we have the less number of tractors per square kilometers in the world, and we have a lack of also implements to carry out all activities in the field, and we need to transfer the technologies to African farmers, as well as training, because it's very, very important training, as well as agronomic practices, because both agronomic practices and technologies run in parallel way. It's very strong. It's they must be matched, because when we introduce technologies, we need to introduce also agronomic practices to be more suitable for the right technologies. And of course, the main constraint in Africa is that the majority of farmers are smallholders. So far, we need to introduce the more appropriate technologies for them. We need to set up financial policies to create, let me say, borrow the credit for smallholder farmers, and we also we need to try to introduce the cooperative system or services centers in order to allow the use of the technologies that most of the farmers are not in the position to buy, because the income per year is very, very low. This is let me say, the three ways to introduce agricultural mechanization. Of course, we need also a strategic plan from governments to set up a master plan in order to find the incentives for providing technologies for farming. Italy, the Italian industry of agricultural machinery is quite well positioned in South Africa. It's one of the major destination market in African continent. Personally, I was 3 or 4 times the most important, let me say, agricultural machinery show in Africa. It's Nampo in Bothaville. We have more, remember, 50-60 Italian companies exhibiting directly or through the importers and distributors. And I also remember that when I visited the Stellenbosch area, in the vineyards area, the majority of technology are from Italy. So it's still a gateway for the Italian industry to be more present in the sub-Saharan African countries, South Africa. But we need to use this platform in order to expand our presence in the continent and the neighboring countries. Let me think about Zimbabwe, Now we have a different situation in Zimbabwe. Green production area in Africa. And I was thinking about Zambia, and all the, let me say, also East Africa countries area. So we need to invest more in this area because Africa is definitely the continent with the major potentials for agricultural mechanization in the world.
Well, today we had a panel discussion on the free trade area, African free trade area, and Mattei Plan. Mattei Plan is a strategic plan which the Italian government set up at the beginning of this year. The purpose is to have better relations with Africa, between Italy and Africa, between Europe and Africa as well. So we've been talking about this. The point is that from a certain point of view, Africa is going anyway, with or without Italy. And what we've been saying is that Italy has to take this train, let's say like that. So we talk a lot about made in Italy, machineries. We understand that there are other competitors working in Africa from other countries. We have quality, but other also quality. The point is to understand how Italy can work with African economies. Africa is going to grow with its economy. It's going to grow with population. It's going to grow from many points of view. Italy is on the other side of the Mediterranean Sea and has to change relations with Africa. So different relations means better relations with 54 countries. And I think there is enough space for a win-win cooperation in the very near future.
My name is Ignacio Ruiz. I'm the Secretary General of ANSEMAT, the Spanish Association of Manufacturers, and currently acting as Chairman of AgriEvolution. AgriEvolution is the global voice for the agricultural machinery manufacturers worldwide. It's made up by 13 associations from 13 countries, representing a high share of the manufacturing of machinery around the world. So our mission is really clear. We want to promote mechanization worldwide, especially to international organizations dealing with the development of agriculture. And we want to promote mechanization as the essential tool to achieve the goals of sustainable agriculture. So we know that we are the main producers, the main manufacturers of machinery around the world, but we have customers in every single country around the world. So we have the information, we have the expertise to share with all the countries that they would like to have this kind of information sharing. And we have the information to share and to promote before the international organizations, because those organizations such as the World Bank, such as FAO, they are dealing with agriculture, but they have been missing mechanization for decades. For example, the World Bank is not usually including machinery as a tool or as a technology to be subsidized or included in development projects. And we want them to know that it's essential to provide machinery to farmers. Not only machinery, but only the training to use the machinery and to maintain the machinery. So we need them to be aware of that. We are really happy that FAO is now focusing on mechanization as a tool for developing sustainable agriculture. And now we have been working for now 16 years, trying to share information among countries, trying to share and to focus on the key points that we need to tackle in the upcoming years. Now we are happy to announce that we have information to share with every single stakeholder around the world that would be interested in knowing how mechanization is behaving, how it's developing. And we want to share that because we want to share the message that even though we are suffering, for example, this year, a really a decline in the market, agriculture is expected to grow worldwide. Agriculture is the future to feed. We need agriculture to feed the world, and we need to provide technologies in those countries to increase production. So we know that agriculture is expected to grow, and mechanization is expected to grow too. So now we have the tools to analyze not only the regions, as we have been discussing during the press conference, but we have in AgriEvolution information regarding every single country around the world that is dealing with machinery, and they are importing or exporting machinery. So we don't have data around the world to measure how these green technologies are implemented worldwide. What we know, for example, in Europe is mandatory to the shift to renewable sources of energy, and we can measure that change in the continent. But in other regions around the world, we don't have the information on how these green energies technologies are implemented, but we are pretty sure that the supply has the technology to be implemented. So the problem would be, or the issue would be, how this supply of technologies is implemented in reality, because the bridge between the supply and demand of these technologies is getting broader every year. We know that farmers are facing income problems, that they need more subsidies, that they need more support from governments in order to invest in new technologies, because every single new technology has a price, and the farmers need the support to invest in those technologies. So from one side is, okay, manufacturers are confident on the benefits of those technologies, they are implementing those technologies, they want a greener world, that's for sure, but the farmers are not forced to buy those technologies. So we know that second-hand markets are increasing, we know that some manufacturers are not complying around the world with those kind of technologies, but there is no way to measure how the agriculture is implementing those technologies. We all want that greener world, but we need income, we need resources in order to make a change into the future.
What we are developing is tractor equipment that it uses machine vision and laser technology to kill the weeds. So as the equipment is moving above the crop, we detect the weeds and differentiate them from the crop, and we burn them by using lasers. We make tailor-made solutions to our customers because our system is modular, so you can scale as far as you want, starting from one laser box and building up to 10.